Texans coach Steve Green. Coach, it's been a tough year for you. I mean, as frank as you can put it, it's been a tough year, and now you come out to how you close out the last three contests, and really that becomes a question for you for the last couple of weeks.
Well, until we're mathematically eliminated, we're still in there, trying to figure out a way to sneak in, and oddly enough, if one thing happens, we still are in control of our own destiny. It's kind of a crazy scenario, and you would think, based on some of the games that we've had this year that we were unable to win, that maybe that we shouldn't be in this position, but we are. If New Mexico Junior College is defeated at home by the team that beat us, Odessa, on Monday night, we went out. We got a postseason. So
that really makes this conference kind of interesting, though.
Well,
it's because any given night, there's a lot of different things that can happen. A lot of different scenarios can play out.
And there's only 14 league games too. When you had 16, there was a little bit more that you had to do. But with 14 and maybe one or two teams, only beating each other and what have you, so everybody else kind of beats up on themselves, and so you got as many victories as you do losses a lot of times. So there's a lot of parity, I think, in our league, more so than I would like this year. I wish we weren't in that group, but at times we've demonstrated that we can play with the best teams, and at other times we've demonstrated that we can't beat the worst team. So, which would make us the worst team, I guess. For different periods of games and what have you. But
well, we talked about this preseason, about this team being streaky. You streaked a lot, a preseason stretch, and you've streaked throughout the conference season. You've even streaked kind of bit in games. Odessa was a pretty good ball game at the half. They got away from you a bit. You got right back into it. Ended up being a lot more lopsided than I think it actually was if you looked at it on paper.
It has been that way, and it's been that way since, since practice, I think. We've often talked about our 2-hour practices, let's say, afterwards, and say, well, if you do away with the first 20 minutes and then you examine what happened from 20 minutes in to 20 minutes to go, we got a lot done. But we've just for whatever reason been unable to start and finish, and without hitting a lot of road bumps along the way.
And that's really becomes tricky as a coach, because you'd like to find that switch that says, hey, flip this switch and that ends. It's just tough to find the answer to that question.
It is when you only have certain parts to work with. We're not like the NBA. I can't make a trade. Almost every year you always say, if you're not the best team in the league, you'll say, we were just one player away. If we just had that one guy. Well, every year that changes because it moves from this position to that position to, what have you. We've often said this year we're 2 players away, and not necessarily in talent, but in experience and in knowing how to win. The ball goes on the ball goes up on the glass. The winning team goes and gets it, and it's as simple as that. And too many times this year we have, instead of securing the ball, we've knocked it out of bounds and given them another chance. I hope some of that stuff comes with maturity and experience and what have you. Probably it comes with a bigger, stronger player. So, we'll just have to, we'll have to take a look at both. I think we have some good young guys that would have benefited from, if I could have gone back into time and picked one guy from different teams and put him on, I think this group would have been a whole lot different.
Is this the youngest you've been? I mean,
I gotta think
in this career at South Plains College.
I'm trying to remember the very first year that I came here. I didn't have anything to do with those guys. They were already here, and we went through this. We had a lot of freshmen on that team. I can name you 3 or 4 of them. 2 or 3 of which came back their sophomore year and were outstanding players. But we added, some different pieces to it and what have you. And I don't know that that's an excuse for what's going on this year, but it probably is a plausible reason.
You get ready to go again at home on Thursday night against Frank Phillips, and I know this is a team you felt like you should have beat on the road.
Yeah.
So certainly you want to come back here and take one out and
Right.
go get one hard.
Well, we're kind of not really focusing on it because we didn't perform up there like we should have, but we are, because it is do or die. If you want to have anything to do with your destiny, this is your last evening. I mean, the moment that you fall short, we're done. That's it. And now we basically play it out. We do have to have help one more time. And as I said, if Odessa goes and beats New Mexico, and they've got a lot to play for too, because they're vying for a second or third spot in the West Side. So it's going to be an important game to both those teams in Hobbs. We'll get done and then go home and wait for an hour and figure out, are we still fighting for something, or is it going to be even tougher? I think New Mexico then goes to Frank Phillips. I believe they do after they play us. So they've got 2 road games and a tough game at home. So
You like the way the schedule sets up for you back at. You get 2 out of 3 at home. You make 1 fairly short road trip over to New Mexico Military. If any case scenario was best case scenario, that's got to be just about it.
Yeah, it's the best case for us, no question. But like I say, it's still, we wouldn't be in this situation if we'd have taken care of business. I mean, I can think of 3 games this year that as soon as this season's over, I don't ever want to think about again. But 1 play here, 1 play there, 1 play there, and but it's like I was talking to a coach while ago on the phone. We were kind of just, I don't know, whatever you want to call it, just moaning about what's happened to us and what have you. And I said, a lot of coaches sometimes sit around and say, man, if it was just 2 or 3 points here, we would have been, instead of 3-8, we'd have been 8-3. Well, yeah, maybe 2 or 3 points the other way. Maybe you'd be 1-10 too.
That's exactly right. There's always that opposite side of the coin.
Yeah, I can always find the pessimistic side.
There you go. So. Coach, just seems out of time for this one. Any final thoughts for us before we get ready to get on the floor Thursday?
We're getting ready to get to work this afternoon, and go play tomorrow night.
All right, Coach. Appreciate your time as always. Best of luck to yourself and the Texans.